The Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro says he survived an apparent assassination attempt involving explosive drones. He was giving a live televised speech at a military event in the capital, Caracas, when the attack happened. The authorities say the president was unharmed, but 7 soldiers were injured. A little-known rebel group says it was responsible. President Maduro says the attack has only made him more determined, as Lebu Diseko reports.
A la Venezuela consciente.
President Maduro is in the middle of his televised speech when this happened. The camera shakes, his wife looks up, and then he does. The pictures then cut to soldiers at the event, who we see running. Officials say 2 drones packed with explosives had been flown towards the parade and exploded, injuring 7 soldiers. And in the aftermath have come recriminations. The communications minister said the opposition was behind the attack. It's not hard to see why Mr. Maduro might feel embattled. Police and anti-government activists clash regularly as protests continue against what opponents say is Mr. Maduro's increasingly authoritarian rule. The country has the largest oil reserves in the world, but its economy is on its knees. Hyperinflation and food shortages mean shelves are often bare and families go hungry. Mr. Maduro says the current crisis is the result of a Western plot to crush his socialist government and says the opposition is in on it. Speaking after the attack, he claimed it was engineered by Colombia and financed from America.
Preliminary investigations have indicated to us that there are various financial backers of this attempt on my life. They live in the United States, in the state of Florida. Hopefully, President Donald Trump's government is willing to fight these terrorist groups.
So while his detractors, both at home and abroad, may beg to differ, for Mr. Maduro and his supporters, these latest events prove that they are the ones under attack. Lebu Diseko, BBC News.
Well, a short time ago, I spoke to Hasler Iglesias in Caracas. He's youth leader of the opposition Voluntad Popular Party. I asked him who he thought was behind the attack.
Well, it's hard to know. The opposition organized in the political parties has never have connection with these irregular groups that are claiming the authority of this act. Also, we don't know this so-called Phoenix group, and we have never heard about it. And the president says it's a plot from Colombia, where also Juan Manuel Santos is involved, but we don't have elements to affirm that situation. Even though it was a military parade where drones, is hard to believe that were flying without getting known from the intelligence services. So one hypothesis is also that this attempt was made by inside the government or the armed forces.
So you're skeptical about the claim of the drone attack at all?
Well, it actually occurred, but we don't have elements to know who did it. But we can believe that 2 drones flying in the main avenue in Caracas in a military parade have to have some relationship to persons or to people from inside the government or the armed forces.
Well, we've heard from former US ambassador saying he wouldn't be surprised if there was some kind of orchestration internally, but of course we have no evidence of that at the moment. Regardless of that, what do you think the response will be now from the authorities?
Well, in other moments where the government have been attempted by violence or by threats also from other countries, they have used more the strength of violence. They have used more repression, more authoritarian activities against the opposition or the people that it's in the streets. So we can think that this situation is going to be used as a leverage from the government to persecute more the opposition and any people who wants to speak against them.
Well, if that does transpire, obviously you'll be opposed to that being part of the opposition group. But what do you think it could do to the stability of the country now?
Well, the country is very unstable. This attempt, I think, does not affect the stability of the country. Here we have the hyperinflation with the higher levels in the country, with the higher violence rates in the world. And this attempt is going to make the government more authoritarian, more violence, and more repressive against the people who oppose it. But the political situation looks that not going to change so more besides that.
That was Hasler Iglesias in Caracas for us. And of course, we'll keep you right up to date with developments in Venezuela. But for now,